Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening. You're watching 7 minutes of nonstop news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm Carrie Roper. Thank you for joining us for 7 at 7 p.m. on this Wednesday, February 10th. And tonight we start with sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing. Big news coming out of the Vegas Golden Knights camp, and tonight we're joined by sports reporter Cassie Soto, who has the latest. Cassie?
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. The Golden Knights are once again dealing with COVID-19 issues. Knights forward Tomasz Nosek was pulled from Tuesday's game versus the Ducks prior to the start of the third period. Once it was discovered that he had in fact tested positive for coronavirus, Nosek was placed in isolation, and the league began conducting close contact tracing after the Knights' 5-4 win over Anaheim. The Knights canceled practice on Wednesday, and as of now, the NHL says Thursday's game versus the Ducks will still be played as planned, pending test results of players and staff on both teams.
Thanks, Cassie. Let's get to your top story, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. And we start with some breaking news as Hustler magazine publisher Larry Flynt Jr. has died at the age of 78. Now, Flynt made a mark here in Las Vegas with his Hustler Club on Dean Martin Drive, and we're going to continue to have more on the local reaction to his death on lvrj.com. In more news, Clark County fire investigators and Las Vegas police are searching for a serial arsonist after at least 10 fires were set in the area of Charleston and Lamb Boulevards last night. Now, several of these fires were brush and dumpster fires, and there were no reports of significant property damage or injuries. Investigators believe the fires were intentionally set, though as of this morning, there are no suspects. A former member of Panic at the Disco could be the subject of a federal investigation into a drug and weapons case filed originally here in Las Vegas. Former bassist Brent Wilson was arrested January 22nd for possession of narcotics and unlawful possession of a gun. Since then, he has been in custody at the Clark County Detention Center. Wilson's attorney said there was a potential resolution in the case, but in light of the federal government's interest, he'd like to move forward with a status hearing set a week from today. More news coming from the court today as a former 311 Boys gang member and his girlfriend did not show for their court appearances earlier today. Stephen Gasly reportedly cut off his ankle monitor and fled to Arizona with Dana Nee. Now, the couple have been accused of swindling an Arizona lender out of $700,000. Warrants have been issued for the couple. Together, they're facing charges of theft, coercion, conspiracy, forgery, and mortgage lending fraud. And if they are found, they will be held without bail. Clark County Commissioner Tick Segerblum is the first to announce that he will be running for chairman of the Nevada State Democratic Party. Segerblum made the announcement on Monday, and Review-Journal's Rory Appleton has more.
He's a deep progressive, one of our most progressive politicians, so it kind of shows, where the party's going in terms of political leaning.
Now it's time for your weather, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Despite forecasts of partly cloudy weather, we had sunny skies and a high of 70 degrees today. It looks like we'll dip down to the mid-40s tonight. Tomorrow's looking to be similar to today with partly cloudy skies and slight breezes. The high is expected to be around 70 degrees and lows around 50. As we start looking ahead to this weekend, looks like we'll get stronger winds and slightly lower temperatures with a chance of rain. In your business news, sponsored by the Vegas Chamber, it may be a while before the Palms reopens its doors. The off-strip hotel casino property probably will remain closed until its tourist customer base returns. Renee Summerhour has more.
Carrie, Frank Fertitta III, the CEO of Station Casino, says the Palms is one of 4 Station Casino properties that have yet to reopen since the COVID-19 shutdown last spring. Like the Palms, Station Casino properties will reopen when the company is confident the customers will return. Their timeline for reopening depends on the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines. RJ reporter Mike Shoro tells us why.
The locals properties rely on an older demographic, usually 65 and older, and the casino executives want to make sure that their key demographics are comfortable and feel safe.
For more on this developing story, log on to lvrj.com. Carrie?
In your health news is sponsored by 4M Dental. Love your smile again. The state of Nevada has released new data on COVID-19, and there's both good and bad news on that front. So the good news, the number of people testing positive in Nevada has dropped. And the bad news, the number of overall deaths are still high. Clark County officials say their data shows that some communities within Clark County are being disproportionately affected.
but it's vitally important as well to have this data to help us strategize where the vaccine needs to go and who it needs to be taken to.
In more sports news, Golden Knights forward Ryan Reeves just announced a new Imperial Stout from his 7-5 brewing company called Grim Reaver. It's the 5th release from the company, which Reeves co-founded 3 years ago. Reeves described the newest stout as personal and channels greatness. Grim Reaver will be available at Total Wine Stores, Lee's Discount Liquor, and more here in Las Vegas.
Now here's this sports betting update. Dustin Johnson's late withdrawal has shuffled the odds for the PGA Tour's AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am starting Thursday. Johnson, the world's top-ranked golfer, was the 4-1 favorite at the Westgate before he withdrew. Patrick Cantlay is now the favorite at 8-1, followed by Daniel Berger at 14-1. Read a tournament preview with selections from handicapper Wes Reynolds on ReviewJournal.com.
In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway, for those maybe wishing to forget their past romances this Valentine's Day, Madame Tussauds will shred old pictures of exes in exchange for free admission to the Wax Museum. Or delete them off your phone if you don't have a physical copy. Now the deal is only for this Sunday, February 14th, perfect timing, and is for anyone wanting to check out the museum wax figures of A-listers and superheroes. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County, Las Vegas businesses are getting ready for the Lunar New Year, which can be seen in special menus, decorations, and shows. It's the Year of the Ox, which can be seen at the Venetian, and it's featuring a 13-foot golden ox sculpture. Beijing Noodle No. 9 at Caesar's Palace also added new dishes to its takeout menu to celebrate the holiday. That's all for today's 7 at 7 p.m. from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm Carrie Roper. Thanks for joining us tonight. Be sure to get every bit of local news you need in 7 minutes with 7 at 7 from lvrj.com. You can also catch us on the RJ mobile app, Roku, Apple TV, and so much more. And we hope you'll join us again tomorrow morning for 7 at 7 a.m. Have a wonderful night.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.